Hi, this is Ali Arango of littleguyscgi.com. Today I'm going to show you how to show you a way of how to attach clothes to an already rigged character mesh. I'm going to show you how to take something like this shirt mesh here and then have that shirt mesh move along with your character rig. I'm going to show you how to deal with issues like having your character mesh show through the shirt mesh. And I show you how to do that by showing you how to work with the mask modifier built into Blender. As I work through the tutorial, I not only explain what I'm doing, I try to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. I hope this tutorial helps you out, and I hope you get a lot out of this. Hi, this is Ali Arango of littleguyscgi.com. Today I'm going to show you how you can attach clothes to a rigged character mesh in Blender 2.8. So let's get started. Okay, what you see in front of you are the result of other tutorials. I'll put links where you can get to those tutorials. Here's a shirt, here's a character mesh. If I go to the right, I can turn the rig on for this character mesh. So right now, the character mesh is attached to the rig. However, the shirt is not attached to the rig. Blender has a very easy way for us to have our shirt move along with our rig. To set this up, the first thing we're going to do is click on our character mesh. We're going to go to our upper right. We're going to click where we see this meta rig. We're going to click this triangle here. And then where we see this retopology, that is basically our character mesh. I'm going to look to my upper right, this button right here. I'm going to click this triangle here. And then I'm going to select this arrow here. And this allows us to make things selectable or not selectable in Blender. So with that selected, now we can see there's this arrow right here. So I'm going to click that arrow. So now this retopology mesh is not selectable currently. Okay, the reason why we wanted to do that is we wanted to make it easy for us to select our shirt, hold shift, and then select our meta rig. So with that done, what we want to do is hold control and then press P. Once we do that, we see this set parent menu pop up. And what we want to do is select where we see with empty groups. So I'm going to left click to select that. Okay, with that done, I'm going to left click on nothingness to deselect. I'm going to go over to our collection window and I'm going to select this arrow. So now we can select our character mesh again. So now I'm going to select the character mesh, hold shift, and then I'm going to select the shirt while holding shift. I just let go of shift. Okay, with that done in that order, what we can do now is go to the upper left-hand corner, and then we'll left click on this arrow and we will go to weight paint mode. Okay, here in weight paint mode, we want to go to weights, go down to where we see transfer weights. We're going to left click there. Then we're going to look down to where we see this panel here, and where this says source layers selection, we want to change this so this says by name. And then where we see destination layers, we just want to make sure this says all layers. So it says destination layers MA something. I want to thank Irina K for giving me these settings for Blender 2.78. Thank you. Okay, with that done, we're going to go to our upper left. We're going to go to object mode. We're going to click on our meta rig. And then we're going to go to our upper left again. We're going to go to pose mode. And now when we click on our mesh, I'm going to press R to rotate. And we can see that our shirt is moving along with our rig. I'm going to right click to get that get our rig to jump back to its original position. I'm going to left click to deselect. Okay, one thing with our rig, as well as our shirt, I'm going to click here on this button. I'm going to press R twice. See, when I move, my character mesh is coming through the shirt. I'm going to right click so our rig jumps back to its original position. Okay, we don't want to see that, and there's a fairly easy way to deal with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our upper left. We're going to go to object mode. We're going to click on our character mesh, and then we're going to go back to our upper left. We're going to go to edit mode. Okay, I'm going to left click on nothingness to deselect. I'm going to go to the upper left hand corner and then go to object mode. We're going to select our character mesh. I'm going to hold shift as well as the middle mouse button to pan. There's a fairly easy way to deal with having our character mesh show through our shirt. So with our character mesh selected, we're going to go to the upper left. Then we're going to go to edit mode. Okay, here in edit mode, we're going to go to face select. What we want to do is select all the character mesh that we can see. So we're going to press C. This activates paint select. So I'm going to paint everything that I can see outside of the shirt. I'm going to right click to get out of paint select, hold the middle mouse button to rotate the view. Then I'm going to press C for paint select again. I'm going to right click to get out of paint select. Press C for paint select again. Press C for paint select again. Right click to get out of paint select, hold the middle mouse button to rotate. C for paint select again. Right click to get out. C for paint select again. So I think we have all of the areas that we can see outside of the shirt now. Okay, what we want to do now is hold Control, then press I. We're then going to press Z for wireframe view, because we have some things here that we don't want to show. So we're going to press C for paint select and make sure that whatever we want to show is not selected. So the inverse selected everything that we didn't have selected when we press Control I. So I'm using paint select here. I'm going to right click to get out of paint select. I'm going to press Z, then go back to solid view. I'll go to the upper right. I'll press C for paint select, hold the middle mouse button to deselect here. Then I'll right click to get out of paint select. Okay, what I'm going to do now is we're going to go to this, looks like a triangle with 3 circles on it. we're going to go to the right and select this plus button. We have this group pop up. This is our new vertex group. We're going to double click here. We're going to name this mask. Press enter. For this weight, we're going to take this up to 1, and then we're going to left click on assign. Okay, so we're going to go to the upper left-hand corner. We're going to go to object mode. Here in object mode, we're going to go to what looks like our wrench. We're going to go to add modifier to the, looks like an arrow. We're going to click there. We're going to go to mask. And then we're going to hover here, scroll down, and where we see this vertex group, we're going to click here. We're going to type in MA, and now we can see our mask there. This button here is going to show the inverse of what what is currently being affected that's making our character disappear. So now we can see that most of what we wanted is not showing. However, there's issues here as well as here. So to deal with that, we'll go back to edit mode. We'll go to mask, or not mask. We'll go to actually turn the mask off. I'll click here. Go to select. And what I'm going to do is go to this plus to the right here. I am going to double click here. I'm going to name this mask fix. Okay, so just trying to think, because this looks like it should not be. Let's go back to object mode, to our modifier, turn on the mask. So this here is disappearing. So go to edit mode. We'll select here, click on our mask. So we can't select the geometry. We'll click here. Oh, wrong. Okay. Okay, so now we can select here. As well as here. And press C for paint select. It's easier to select. Right click. So what we want to do is take these pieces out of our vertex group. So let's select remove. Okay, so now when we look at our character mesh, things look right. So now with that done, I'm going to hold shift as well as the middle mouse button. Let's click onto our meta rig, we'll go to the upper left. We'll go to pose mode. I'm going to press R twice. And you can see now that you don't see your character mesh coming through the clothing. I'm going to right click to deselect. Okay, so when we click here and we press G, things look good there. I'm going to hold the middle mouse button to rotate the view. I'll click here, press R to rotate, and you can see right there this is coming through. So what we can do is we'll go back to object mode. We'll click here. We'll go to edit mode. We'll hold shift. Well, we'll do paint select. So we'll go to this triangle with the circles again. Then we'll select sign. We'll come back to the wrench. We'll take that back. So we want this to show here. I'm going to hold shift. I'll go back to our object data button. I'll then select remove. Okay, and for this, probably the best bet for that will be to go to, when I left click on nothingness to deselect, I'll go to the upper left to object mode. So when we came in here, look at that. That's interesting. So what we can do is click on our actual shirt, go to edit mode, I'll click on the armature here so that it stays. And what we can do is go to the faces of the shirt. We'll go to view, local view, toggle local view. Go to edge select. We'll select these edges here. We'll go to view, local view, toggle local view. Go to our move tool. Just pulling the shirt up, this slight adjustments here. This is probably, if you have issues, that should do it. Now, I have the proportional editing tool on. Proportional editing tool allows you to move more than one vertex, edge, or face at a time. That's also that circle that you see there. Okay, what I'm going to do is unclick this button here. Go back to object mode. Back to our meta rig. Back to pose mode. I'll press A to select everything. Hold Alt, press R. The back looks decent. Front right here. Go back to object mode. Somehow I must have selected through the mesh. Back to edit mode. Oh, I see. So if I go to view, local view. Okay. So that there. We want that removed. So now we go back to view, local view. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go to the upper right, go to object mode, click on my meta rig, go upper left, pose mode, and press R twice, right click, R twice, okay. Hold Control as well as the middle mouse button to zoom back. Hold Shift as well as the middle mouse button to pan. Now I'll left click on nothingness to deselect. Okay guys, that's it for that tutorial. For all of those of you out there that like the videos on this channel and reshare them, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. For those of you who are new to this channel, if you like the videos on this channel and you would like to see more, please subscribe and thank you for viewing.